Mr. Smith and the Burglar. Mr. Smith lived in a nice house in a nice street in a city in Bristol in the UK. He wanted to go to the theatre, so he called his friend Sarah and said, "Hi, Sarah, do you fancy going to the theatre tonight?" Sarah said, "Yes," and so they decided to meet in the city center at 6:30. He left his house and walked to the train station. What Mr. Smith didn't know is that a burglar was watching his house and was waiting for him to leave. When it got dark, the burglar climbed up to the top floor and broke a window. He went into the house. He hadn't seen that Mr. Smith had a good computer and a very large TV in the living room downstairs, so he went downstairs. He was walking to the living room when he saw a big cake in the kitchen on the table. Mr. Smith was a very good baker and made a delicious cake every Saturday morning. The burglar was very hungry. He looked at the cake and he decided to have just one piece. After he ate the cake, he was very thirsty, so he made himself a nice cup of tea. But he was still thirsty, so he opened the fridge and got a large glass of milk. After he had eaten lots of cake and drank lots of milk, he felt very tired. He went into the living room and sat on the sofa. He fell asleep. He slept for a long time. In fact, he only woke up when Mr. Smith came home and found him on the sofa. Mr. Smith called the police immediately and the burglar was put in prison. Luckily, the burglar, his name was George, decided not to commit any more crimes, and he went to the university and became a private investigator. He was a much better private investigator than he was a burglar.